Hello, and good evening. So, figure might as well at least get as far as the other run got, with the little bit of time that's left over. Did I turn frame skip on again? No, I didn't. I don't know why it's lagging and crap then. Hopefully it isn't now. Anyway, moving on. So far it's still the same 9 here. Probably get into Chapter 4 without getting a 10th, 11th, or 12th member. Whatever. What are you doing here? Thought you were trapped in hell. Whatever. It's all good now. He got out. He got better. Got a mech suit. It's fine. Don't worry about it much. There's too many questions to possibly answer. And, it's alright. Don't have to worry about it. I'll probably get eased of any and all questions within a few minutes here. As you do. So, I mentioned this before, but I am super friggin' excited because somebody went and hacked the Vita finally. I should mention version 3.67 specifically. If you don't have a Vita and don't know why that would be significant, basically they go and they update these different versions all the time, and if you wound up making the mistake of updating it after, they ended up patching the last version, kind of figured there would be no hope of getting this mod on there, because they basically announced, okay, look, anything past 3.60, we're never going to bother. Just give up all hope on that. So I did, and went ahead and updated it to the latest version, and I think I had 3.65 or something at the time, something like that. Or 3.61, I think. It was just like one version over, wasn't really expecting much. So, that all ends up happening. Then I see a post a little bit ago like, oh, no, 3.67 got hacked. Actually, it turns out there was a whole bunch of stuff that we wanted to get done, and that was only possible by completely abandoning that original thing and going for this higher version. And they did, and it was good, and it was all great and stuff. But yeah, winds up creating that situation where basically hopefully within a year it'll be possible to get one vision on a Vita. Only reason I mention it is because that has been on my mind a fair bit lately because we're going on vacation. First vacation in a very, 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 very long time that costs more than I was hoping to spend on it, but screw it. Wife needed it, so you're gonna make that happen. Like, even if I end up having some trouble with rent, it's gonna happen, dang it. So, why is that significant? Well, like I mentioned, one vision on the Vita then, which if you are not familiar, odds are most people wouldn't be because who the hell has a Vita? Basically, it looks and everything a lot better. Like, the lighting and resolution and everything is all nice and nifty, and it kind of looks like it's running on an emulator, because it basically is. And unlike running it on a phone or something like that, you have the convenience of buttons. And unlike running it on a PSP, which, I mean, on a PSP you're basically just getting a smaller screen. The 3000 has a nicer screen. That's actually the one I was going to be bringing along with me, and that's the funny part. Like, I was kind of going back and forth, like, do I really want to, risk this PSP just breaking on me during this trip, because it's going to be a minute? And ultimately winded up deciding to take it, because basically, you just can't have that long of a time without one vision in your day. That's just unacceptable. No, it's too long of a wait. But yeah, it's a good sign. Good sign that's a possibility soon. Again, I realize that pretty much nobody has a friggin' Vita, and I'll be honest, the thumbsticks on that thing are absolute garbage. But hey, you know what? It's for basically a retro dump device. It does the job well. Does it very well, in fact. Like, currently on that thing, let's see, I have all 3 of the portable Armored Cores, I have 3 of the Resident Evils on there, have Front Mission on there, have Tactics Ogre, the original one on there. Actually, recently, emulator bubbles started becoming a thing, so I could potentially go and put the, Night of Lotus and something like Chronicle Valeria on there. Could put Ogre Battle on there. Let's see, got Parasite Eve on there, got pretty much a bunch of the Nipponichi stuff. Because they made a whole bunch of interesting, kinda sorta-ish strategy kinda dealies. It's weird to describe. I don't know, this guy is a strange beast. Like, it's a strategy game, but it's also kind of a weird grind RPG kind of thing. So whatever you count that as, pretty much. But yeah, so it's got that on there, got, what else? Let's see, Civilization, Revolutions 2, which is hands down the worst Civilization game, but screw it, it's Civ on a portable, so whatever. Even though the one on the DS, despite looking like absolute garbage, was way better in terms of pretty much everything. Actually, Revolutions 2, I have to say, some of the dumbest AI I have ever frickin' seen. They pretty much straight up forgot to add a whole bunch of stuff for them to do. Like, for example, one of the things you start off with is a random scattering of different resources and stuff like that around, and one of those are barbarian camps, which you're basically just going on the same kind of tile-based system as right here, except, like, okay, let's look at this for an example, right? Let's say they started on this little tiny island. Let's say this was land, okay? Let's say there was a camp right here that just decided to spawn in, because it usually spawns in within a few tiles of them. They would forever be trapped here, because they would never think, if I walked over to that, I'll be able to go get it. They will just sit here with their one city, basically never doing anything, and usually just you end up encountering a sudden very primitive tribe stuck behind this little, little camp in the corner of the map. Like, well, why are you here? Why didn't you move? And just Churchill's yelling at you from their little camp like, no, we're totally gonna come get you with our spears. Come on, bring all your tanks and bombers over. And then it's all awkward, and then, you don't really know what to do at that point. But, hey, what can you do? It is a very, very odd bit of a game. Like, honestly, one of the hands-down stranger situations with ports I've ever seen. Because it's not really a port, it's supposed to be an upgrade. Because, like, they added new nibs and whatever, but they took away a whole bunch of features and whatnot. Like, for example, it has this weird battle system where... Sorry, I apologize, it's a little bit dry again. Where you have a lot of units that have different numbers of actual, like, characters in their party. So, for example... Like, say you've got some infantry, and you've got some spearmen there, and they're essentially going to have 3 people in it. Or you've got some knights, and they've got 2, and you've got a tank that's got 1, or you've got planes that have 2, and it's just basically a thing from 1 to 3. And they have a score attached to them, and it basically rolls those scores against each other as a ratio. So, for example, if a 5 was fighting a 30, they would have a 1 in 6 chance of beating that thing. And if they were fighting a plane, for example... By the way, spearmen can fight planes. It's a thing that happens. But, like, say a plane attacked a spearman, right? The spearman would have a 1 in 6 chance to win, but, obviously the odds aren't in their favor. But every now and then you'll see a thing where it's like, okay, they lost to 1 spearman because they lost to 1 of the rolls, but then they won 2 of the rolls in a row. And suddenly these friggin' spearmen ended up taking out some fighter jets, and it's like, what the hell just happened? And it becomes especially hilarious when you end up stacking different bonuses, because you get really bizarrely imbalanced bonuses in the background. So you get, like, city bonuses for 50%, you get veteran bonuses for 50%, you get, you get a unit with loyalty, which basically improves, basically doubles the numbers of whoever's around. And yeah, so you get that, and you get a leader for another 50%, and suddenly you have some spearmen that basically are able to punch through tanks because of reasons. Yeah, it's, odd times. Yeah, you'll just have, like, a defensive unit in a city that will be completely just unable to do anything themselves, but they will make that city utterly invincible and continue winning, and the AI doesn't know what to do aside from just sending 1 unit at a time to go deal with that situation. But they will keep sending, like, 1 light horse at a time with... I think past 1 to 7 odds, they just immediately say, no, this other one's gonna win. But if you, like, if, apparently they never told the AI that, so it'll keep trying, like, to the point where it's got, like, 1 in 45 odds to win. That chance is literally 0, and they'll still keep sending them against that city, like, nope. I'll totally pull off the literally impossible, because the system doesn't allow it. Or you get, yeah, it's especially hilarious if you play as one of the civs, because they can't even take a loss. Like, their whole thing is just, if a unit falls and they win the fight anyway, that unit just gets replaced. Just on the spot. So they can't even get wounded. So Steve's come to get revenge for the potato that you ended up assassinating last week. He's just following in the footsteps of the other run, basically. But yeah, no. So after all said and done, it's not really something I would recommend looking at, but whatever, $5, I guess. It's $5 on sale a lot of the time. It's $20 normally. But yeah, what else? I got friggin' XCOM on there, which is just amazing. It's probably it's literally the worst presentation you can possibly have of it, and probably a really bad first impression. But hey, if you already know the game, then it's not really anything negative per se. I mean, you basically just have see-through walls. It's one of those weird situations where they expect you to play the original for a port. And yeah. Let's see, got that on there, got La Milano on there, another amazingly fun one that doesn't get talked about much. Although, kinda a third of the way through the game, the puzzles get literally impossible, so I don't know what they were thinking with that. What else? Got Command and Conquer on there, the Red Alert DLC disc thing. Got Front Mission, I think I mentioned that one. Yeah, Front Mission 3 is amazing. Oh yeah, Vagrant Story. Another friggin' amazing one, which looks and sounds amazing on that thing. I know I'm saying amazing a lot, but screw it. But yeah, no, it is really, really good. Like, it's basically strategy RPG Resident Evil. It's set in Final Fantasy Tactics. And actually, FFT is another one that I have on there. Let's see, the original Armored Core, so technically 4 Armored Core games fit on that thing. Where's Smothers 2? I'm forgetting them right, but eh. Oh, ZHP. Actually, no, I think I mentioned ZHP already. It's this really bizarre roguelike. Oh yeah, Binding of Isaac also, and Don't Starve. It's got a lot of stuff on it, is what I'm trying to say. Like, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't take a whole lot of space that can fit on that thing. But here's what I don't get, right? They've got a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of indie titles and everything, that have all, you know, all these crazy amounts of features and everything, like Binding of Isaac. It's like a 200 megabyte game. And the thing has enough content for like a friggin' decade. But then you see a whole bunch of other stuff where, like, a bunch of stuff that came out for the PSP and whatnot is like 800 to 1,000, That's that fight done. No, we haven't. Get lost. We should see if Steve can pass the zombie test. Yes. Are you willing to wage war on her? Yep. Have you not met Steve? But yeah, so like last time we had the 2 other sisters, it's these 2 sisters this time. No way but war because Steve. Alright. So, now we go to here, do the thing. Fuck. Some crap happens. People. They did stuff. There we go. Now we know about everybody and know everything. That is just how fast Steve thinks. Raining. Oh. Oh! Okay, this is actually Bomba Musa dead, I think. Interesting. Okay, cool. I think we have to evacuate Olius if that... Yeah, it's Bomba Musa dead. I don't know, almost like you should definitely know it's your dad. And then she gets shanked. I mean, you could have gone for that ogre behind you. It's gonna be a bit of a pain to deal with him. Yep, the mosquitoes are here. Mosquitoes. Then she tries to use the gem and gets shanked. That's fine. So I believe if she gets saved... I'm not entirely sure, given the whole crazy murder thing, how well this is gonna go for recruiting what's-her-face? Cressida. But it's potentially a possibility at this point. Alright. So, this time around, everyone's gonna have to be friggin' amazing. Let's do this in fast forward, because gotta do it. Now, we have boulder stuff on people, so the archers are gonna need to probably set up around here-ish. We need to get to Oleus first, get her evacuated. Have evacs, quite a lot of evacs, because almost nobody's gotten knocked out this run. It's actually been going pretty amazing. Actually, this works out perfectly, because I'm just going to go ahead and say by canon these are the same zombies that killed off Denim last time. So they're just here for Steve. But they do not know the Steve. Holy crap, you have damage. Okay. Gonna go ahead and steal that guy's linen pants, I guess, or something. Now, because those guys have blocked the way, this is gonna get really annoying really fast. I don't have battering ram on anyone. Actually, okay, no, it's fine, because they don't have rampart. Go ahead and take them out. I think that these should be doing more damage, shouldn't they? Now, these are 17, so... have that massive level advantage. Bench, please. Okay, I think the little one just woke up. Crap. Well, in that case, I will cut it here and be back for another part later.